Hello guys and welcome back. There is another episode on the way, but I just wanted to do a quick video of my recent visit to RMC The Cave. If you follow Neil's YouTube channel, he's recently set up an exhibition, museum, kind of a bit of everything. And it all runs out of this fantastic location, this old mill in Gloucestershire. And best of all, it's about 30 minutes from my house, so finally we've got something down in the southwest. Before everything seems to be in Birmingham or Manchester, but finally we've got something down near us. And what an absolutely fantastic location. This could have been hosted in some soulless office block, but no, we've got a building with a bit of history, and the retro treasures inside fit in perfectly with this. At the moment it is only the top floor that's in use by RMC, however there are plans afoot, but check Neil's channel out for that for more information. So if you are unfamiliar with Neil's channel, what's it about? Well, again, it's a little bit of everything. Retro restorations, history of gaming hardware and software, and interviews with developers of games long since past. If you're based across the pond in America, I'd kind of liken him to Clint from Lazy Game Reviews or the guy that does Technology Connections. It's the same kind of vibe. So I think the cave itself initially was just kind of a background for Neil's YouTube videos, but it just sort of grew from there. There's been a bunch of videos on the channel showing how this thing has progressed over time, and I think the viewers of the channel have kind of helped shape how this has turned out, with their donations and comments about what they'd like to see on show. At the moment in the UK we're kind of going through a bit of a heat wave, and it's around the surface temperature of Venus at the moment, so when I heard the cave had AC, that clinched the deal and I bought a ticket. So unfortunately it is going to be pretty much shaky handcam footage from a mobile phone. You don't want to take the piss turning up with a tripod and the whole thing, so this is what we've got. But pretty much the first place I went to was the shop, a recreation of a game shop. And for me, this is my era, the 8-bit systems, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, the Sinclair Spectrum, the BBC, Acorn Electron. This is history for me. And I think I probably spent the first half hour, 40 minutes in this room, just chatting to some other guy who'd come up from London, just talking about games, gaming history, what we grew up with, that kind of stuff. And Neil was walking around chatting to all the visitors as well, and I'm happy to report he's exactly like you see on the channel. Really nice bloke. And the cave just had a great atmosphere, loads of people just chatting to each other, playing games. And in the shop area, all the games have been cellophane sealed, so you can pick them up without worrying about damaging them. And it was really cool to see these budget games in these blister packs here. I haven't seen those for years. Real trip down memory lane. And unlike a lot of other museums, you're encouraged to pick things up, play with the hardware, play with the games. And this little shop area was an absolute masterstroke, a really great recreation. The game Vixen there, that came with a free poster back in the day. I don't know if this one has it, but I think it's quite collectible now. I definitely remember sticking it on my wall as a kid. I mean, why wouldn't you? Look at it. There's a really cool little feature in this shop in that all the games are barcoded. And in the shop there's a barcode scanner, a controller and a TV. So if you scan the barcodes with the barcode scanner, it'll bring them up on an emulator and you can play them right then and there. A really cool little feature. I really love the signs in this room, it really takes you right back to the 80s. And I believe the RMC logo on the glass of the door here was made to look like the old WH Smith logo. In the main area of the cave, the next job was to go and find Trevor. Perhaps lost to the sands of time, but this awful joystick here, shaped like a tortoise, is called Trevor. I don't even remember how he got that name. But he has kind of become a de facto mascot for the channel. So I'm glad he was on display. Neil offered me the chance to go and play a game with him. I declined. And it was cool to see that someone had even made a plush of Trevor. There was probably about 15 of us turned up in this group, but you gotta think it's still early days yet. Not to mention a lot of people are out enjoying the sunny weather. To me though, that just meant you can get on all the systems and play what you like. For me though, the highlight was playing the Vectrex. This is a system I've never played before. Vector graphics and a really awesome sharp monitor, absolutely beautiful graphics on this thing. I can't remember the name of the game on the screen here, but it was really good. I've got to seek it out and play it again. At the far end of the room is the main backdrop to several of Neil's YouTube videos. Quite a few people here were getting their pictures taken in front of this, just as a memento of having visited the cave. And there's loads of cool little trinkets on these shelves, including the YouTube silver play button for reaching 100,000 subscribers. I got a bit of catching up to do. In the top drawer of one of the cabinets is a complete Codemasters collection for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, every game they ever released. Most of the Codemasters games were actually pretty good. Apart from the simulator ones, I never really got on with those, but a great selection of games. There's also some games for the Sharp 68000, and I can't believe these were on display. I mean, they must be worth thousands. There's also a few games on display made with the Freescape engine. True 3D graphics thanks to 3D Construction Kit. I know the Cave had an FM Towns machine. This is an absolutely legendary machine from Japan. We never got anything like this in the UK, and I was really wanting to play it, but unfortunately it doesn't work. I know they've looked at fixing it before, but it needs a little bit more attention. Hopefully in the future we'll see it out on display and play some great games. There's some other interesting things on display, like this Jackie Chan computer. I can't remember the story about this one, but I think Jackie Chan had some sort of gig where he promoted this computer for some reason, and it's quite collectible. I played the BBC Micro as one of the guys had set a score on Chucky Egg. I tried to beat it, but I think I got about a tenth of what he got. It was good to play the 3DO as well. I'd never played a 3DO before, played Street Fighter 2 on that, and if I played that back in the day, I think my jaw would have hit the floor. It was really good. So that was kind of most of the footage that I shot. I think I spent most of the rest of the time playing games and just talking to people. But they've done a great job with the Cave here. It's really good, definitely go and visit it, and I will definitely be back there myself. I realised I completely missed the library area, which has got a load of old magazines you can thumb through, as well as shelves with handhelds and things like that. There's also a counter where you can go and pick up a bit of merchandise, tea, coffee, just a cake, things like that, just a bits and pieces to eat. But considering the Cave is only a few months old, I think they've done a really good job. It was good to see that Neil and the team were really hands-on and involved and wanted to talk to everyone. There was no essence of sat behind a counter, reading a book, just waiting for everyone to leave. Nothing like that whatsoever. They genuinely wanted to talk to everyone and make sure that everyone's having a good time. Neil even showed me some of the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, the 3D printing of the cases for the Mr. Multi system they're working on, and that was really impressive, really cool stuff. So if you fancy visiting the Cave yourself, get yourself over to rmcretro.com and pick yourself up a ticket. But that's it for now, so I'll see you next time.